guys, 1 second. I'm running a little bit late. I have to come. 1 second. Almost there. Hold on. There we go. Get there. Another blessing. All right, let's turn off one music. Or music's on pause. Let's get rid of our graphics. All right, let's squeeze this down so Mary can see it on her phone. Let's pull this back. Let's drop that down. All right, and let's bond with our audience. Hold on, we're gonna bond. There we are. Got it, finally. All right, good morning. Most important thing today to me is just to remember that CPI is tomorrow. Out of everything that's going on, just remember CPI is tomorrow. Expect people to act accordingly. What does that mean? It means expect people to sell at the end of today is really where my head is. I think people are going to lighten up into that number. I don't think they're going to hold it. I really don't. I don't think they're going to hold their winners. I think they're going to wind up getting out of the way of that number. That's where my head is with it. I don't see how they're going to hold all their gains going into that. So that's the first thing. So keep that in mind. But let's get into some of these so we can see it. I mean, 4,800 is pretty glaring. I really don't think I have to tell anybody that. I don't think we have to talk much about that. You know, that level was just back tested. Went over it last night's video pretty clearly. Once that level was back tested, we held. You really can't make this up. I mean, this gets pretty clear to me at least. But let's point it out. You can see right here, you back tested it here and you held, right? And then you back tested it here and you held. So this is your level. And as long as you're up above that level, let's say 47.34.50 is how I have it marked off from the top of that bar. That's July 23rd or July 27th. We all know what happened there or if you don't remember what happened there, Japan intervened and said they were going to intervene in their bond market, and the US sold down. So that was a resistance point that lasted for a very long period of time. That resistance point became what? That resistance point became support, right? It's been tested twice. So as long as you're above that, you're good. The moment that you start breaking that, then we'll get a little concerned about it. But until then, I don't see the sense in doing anything there. So now if we keep that in mind, start going into the NQ, what does that mean? Look where you stopped right here. Look, it's a Christmas miracle, right? 7 days before what happened with the ES happened on the NQ. NASDAQ always what? Leads. NASDAQ always leads. It's just the way it is. Up or down, NASDAQ always leads. Didn't even make the retest, just recently made the retest. This is a really wonky chart for me. And what do I mean by that? This didn't come down. This made the lower low. And now you're not making that higher high. And you're doing this weird thing here where you can't get through that level. So, things that make you go, right? Who was that? Young MC, you know what that song back in the day? Wasn't that him? So you remember that? Like you're looking at that right there, right? All right. It's a concern, right? Like that's a thing. And the other thing that's like somewhat bothersome, I'm just trying to think of the things that are bothersome, is like, and I see the stocks, right? Like I put this in last night's newsletter. If you're on the list to get in the room, if you're on the wait list, you should be getting an invitation. The rest of them will go out tonight. And then it'll be 48 hours from there. And then the room will close for enrollment for a period of time. But see how you're holding in here? But I don't have major breakthroughs on all of them. There's only so many names that are breaking out right now. And they're very specific. They're very specific to the sector that JP Morgan is terming their AI, like their AI names. They're the ones that are moving. So I'm going to have to move the camera so we can bond more. So I'm looking at this screen. All right. So if I look at this, like this is somewhat interesting to me. Like AMET's not participating. These names really aren't going anywhere, are they? So when you start looking at it from that standpoint, is it a broad-based tech rally? No, it's NVIDIA, it's SMCI, it's Marvel, right? So it's very specific. AMD, which seems to have a problem with 150, maybe not after today, but it's very specific. So then you start thinking, okay, well, do you buy like the SOSXL, which I was thinking about, and the answer is why? You rejected the 22 and you rejected the 12. So two things are going to happen. One, this either broadens out, or two, this gets very specific and then peters out. I don't have an answer for which one it's going to be yet. I really don't. I think people are starting to come home to roost that you're only going to get 3 rate cuts this year, not 6, and that inflation is going to be here a little bit longer. That seems to be settling in. I think that reality might settle in even more tomorrow with CPI, and I think that's going to make people a little concerned. I think you have to think about also, what else do you have that's really going on today? You have the 1 p.m. bond auction that you have to watch. Let's go to the banners. We'll jump that in. But I mean, things that are going on today that you need to be aware of. The health conference is still going on. Bond auction today, 1 p.m., the 10-year Treasury is definitely something you need to be aware of, right? And I'd watch those very carefully. I'm going to leave that CYTK on there too. But the 10-year Treasury is definitely something that I'd be paying attention to for sure. I think that's a big deal. I think it's a really big deal today. And it's definitely, there we go, put that banner. I think if I do this one, yep, it'll show the banner and not cut me off. There we go. Okay. So that's something else that we need to focus on, right? We need to focus on this. And are we going to get that diversification? I'm not sure. We're not seeing it, are we? We're seeing specificity more than anything else. IWM, you can't get over the 22. Now you can't get over the 22. Do I really want to be out there? And this is from someone that's got a position in it. It's not doing what I need it to do. So that's becoming a concern, right? So I have a rally. The rally is very specific, isn't it? Right? It seems to be these AI names that are at the CES conference. I mean, the one thing that I think makes the most sense is just the XBI trade. We've done exceptionally well in LABU and several of these names. I was joking with somebody today in the room where they're like, well, what name should we focus on? Should we focus on the ones that are going to get bought? And I said, yes, we should. When you figure out what those names are, please let me know. Because you never know which ones are going to get bought, right? We can all man plans, God laughs, right? We all make plans. Everyone's talking about CYTK. I'm long CYTK. Meanwhile, HARP got bought for a double. IMGN got bought for a double. Do you hear anybody talking about them before they got bought for doubles? Nobody, except for like some dude on Twitter with like 8 followers, right? He'll talk about how he did it. So other than that, I think you have to look at these and go, all right, so how do I play that, right? Like, am I going to be able to go out there and pick the winners? I ran a scam last night. I thought this was really fascinating. It's worth your time. Under book value, under cash value in biotech, 148 names. Okay, under cash value, under book value, only in biotech, there's 148 names. 2 months ago, there were 232 names. There should not be 100 names. Even if they're under $5, there was a group of them, which was crazy. Over $5, there was a group of them. Look at this. Oh, that's not it. Hold on, I'll find it. I gotta find it. I thought that was it. I'll find it. Hold on 1 second. This one too. Under book value, right? Under book value, under cash value, insiders are buying, large institutional holdings. Like, and then you go back and you go, okay, well, show me what happened in 23. And then you realize that this thing just hit. This is a 52-week high. I don't know what they do. I'm not getting into any of that. I'm just saying from a valuation standpoint, these people that are looking at like LABU and saying, oh, it's too high. These are the notes from the private newsletter. Not like it matters right now, but since we're in it like the 70s. But if you look at something like this, people are like, oh, it's too high. Is it? I mean, it's not that far off the 12. It's not that far off the 22. I mean, is it really that high? I mean, you're not really even back to where you were in 2023, right? You just got back to where you were 52 weeks ago. And on top of that, all you've really done is just buy companies that are trading under book value and cash value. But for some reason, people think that this is overinflated. Like here, take a look at this. Like this is really important. I think it's important, so we're going to do it. so bear with me. Just watch this. And I've kind of gone off on a tangent here, but I just thought this was fascinating. So, okay, this has 20 sectors in it, right? We'll take this. We'll make this SPX, and then we'll convert this. Anybody can make this chart. Anybody can make this chart. I can even drop the link in if you guys have TradingView, you guys can do it. But watch this. So we're going to go to 5 minute, right? And we're going to go to 24 right here. I did this last night, but if you guys do this, if you guys make a chart like this and you do this and you look at this every single day, you will be ahead of 90% of all traders that are out there like throwing crap against the wall and seeing what's going to stick. Look at what's going on since 24. Nothing's even close to it. Like literally nothing is even close to biotech. And then you're going, oh, they're buying healthcare, and then they're buying utilities. Are they? And then you come here and then you go, okay, well, let's take a look at the past 2 days. What are they doing? Well, let's not look at that. Let's at least give 2 days, right? And then you go, let's look at the past 2 days. What are they buying for the past 2 days? For the past 2 days, what are they buying? Biotech, cloud stocks, semis, tech names. This is like the IGV is basically legacy tech. Then they're buying XLK. Then they're buying the NASDAQ. What are they selling? Energy and oil. That's what's been going on the past 2 days. Okay, so if you take your demarcation line, then you can move this line around, just drop it to like a 0 line and just say, okay, well, what's down the past 2 days, right? So if you're buying financials, by the way, financials have earnings on Friday, be aware of that. This tells you everything you need to know. I mean, this is where the money's going. Oh, well, it dropped. So do you want to buy it? Okay, drop for an hour. So, and I think you're going to see more of that as the day goes on. I think it's really important for you to get that concept. So I wanted to spend time on it this morning. Pardon the voice. I'm fighting allergies / it's trying to turn itself into a cold, but we're not going to allow that to happen. But the voice is a little crackly today, so apologies. It is what it is. I think it's a really important distinction for you to sort by that. So what are the takeaways from this? Because people always say, okay, great, thanks for the information, Tom, but what are the takeaways? Here's the takeaways that I would get from what we just went over. Specificity is where we're at right now. It's not like sometimes it's like, oh, just buy the index, or it's like I have a saying in the room where I just go buy everything. Like when there's like a shift in monetary policy, it's not buy everything. It's specificity is winning right now. Specificity is really winning right now. And I would be very specific what I'm focused on. If you want, here, look at this. You can actually screenshot this really quickly so that you have it. You can watch it for yourself today. But this is JP Morgan's list of all the presenters. And here's today, here's Wednesday. And what I'm doing is just looking at Wednesday. And then what I'm doing with Wednesday is I'm just sorting by who's up the most already pre-market. So I know where the money's going, right? Even these like little guys. So then you just kind of look at the change here, click on here, right? And see, well, this is where the money's going this morning. IGM, for whatever reason, they love that one this morning, right? They're speaking today. Maybe something to watch. I think that that's extremely powerful. The more planned you are, the better off you are. What should we talk about? What am I going to get asked about the most? I'm going to get asked about Bitcoin. Okay. This is bad for Bitcoin, and people don't seem to get that. So I'm going to walk you why this is bad for Bitcoin and why people are like, oh, well, people are going to have physically own Bitcoin. Okay. All these guys have to do is go out there and buy futures. Futures give you the right to put that future to somebody, right? And then you put the future to them and then they have to deliver. Okay. No different than oil futures. So the idea that these people are going to be getting physical Bitcoin and the miners are going to have to speed up, unless there's a run on the bank, that's just not the case, like at all. So a lot of this was conjecture. They're going to whack around. I started shorting them last night. The Mars of the world, the riots, even MSTR, which we've done exceptionally well with. They had a great trade in that one. But the other one that I think is going to get smoked on this is coin. Because why do you need a coin account? Like, why do I need Coinbase now? To buy all the other crappy cryptocurrencies? So I can find new ways to lose money? I can lose money in stocks. What do I need them for? Now, if you have something that's physically tied to Bitcoin, and I can put it in my JP Morgan account or Goldman account or whatever, whoever, your Thinkorswim account, doesn't matter, right? Robinhood. What do I need them for? What do I really need these people for? I think they're going to lose a lot of assets. People don't, like, very few people want cold storage of Bitcoin, except like the Yahoos that are like, on TV or on Twitter, playing World of Warcraft or whatever. Or people that are like building bunkers, right? So other than that, people just want to trade it. I mean, that looks like a perfect rising 3 on a pendant, doesn't it? All right. Tesla's got some issues. I'm going to cover this because I'll get asked about it. I started shorting it yesterday. I made a little money, not much, and then I closed the rest at a loss yesterday, just to get out of it because it didn't crack. The fact that you can't bounce hard off the 55 would be extremely concerning. Also, this is concerning to me. Like, it's like no big deal. And people are not buying these cars anymore. We did a piece on this like 6 months ago, how they're not buying Tesla anymore. Like, it's just not cool to own a Tesla as it was. Like, now people would rather own a Mercedes again, which is kind of an interesting dynamic. But all right, so that's that. As far as pointing at NVIDIA, it hit all-time highs. It's a 7-month base. I mean, we can all stare at it, but there's not much to do. We've been trading it in and out. If you watched the video the other night, I was pretty clear that we were long 520s and 525 calls. I even showed the trade last night. I showed the trade the day before we did it. The trade was up like 200% on options. I mean, I can only do so much, but people are like, oh, it's overbought here. It's been basing 7 months. Like, I'm just going to walk through this because I think this is really important, because I'm watching people get caught up in like ego. I'm watching a lot of it lately. Ego. Things are too high. Ego, right? You're going to tell the market what it's going to do. I'm just going to walk through this. Okay. This is when it earned $7 billion. This was May, right? Okay. 7 billion. This is 6 months later, 18 billion. You have a $1 trillion company that's doubling its revenues. You have a $1 trillion company that's doubling its revenues. Stocks roughly stayed in the same spot, moved 20%. Something to think about, guys. Pardon me. Pardon me. Might have to get a mute button. So keep that in mind. I see a lot of that. I see a lot of delusion out there about this can't possibly keep going. This can keep going. Let's get to it. What's up, Sagar? What's going on, buddy? You. Yeah, Sagar, it's definitely something I pay attention to. I don't know if this is the one. You know, if you're in the room, talk to Steven about it. Like, he's nailed these. I mean, this is the one that I think he's been in the most, and he's just like killing it. Absolutely killing it. Steven like just slaughtered this whole space. It's not a space I played with at all. I don't know that I'd buy you, Cigar. Where are you from, Cigar? It's 4:50 in the morning. You're coming in hot. You failed at that 55. We talked about this. It looks like. I don't know that that's the one I would buy. I honestly, if you're in the community still, I think you are. I would reach out to him and just throw it in the room, throw it in the lounge, and ask, because he's had this space dialed in. Like, this has been his wheelhouse, not mine. It's silly for me to even talk about it. You know, I mean, I pointed out the technicals on where he should, you know, what he should look at, like the levels, but he's absolutely slaughtered it at this. I mean, if I was going to buy this, I would just buy the physical uranium. I'd get as close to physical uranium as I could. You always want to be as close to the trade as you possibly can, right? It's like if Bitcoin's going up, you want to own Bitcoin, not Mara, right? You always want to be as close as you possibly can. There's a lesson I learned in one of the books I read. And it always plays out. Always plays out. It's one of the things that I took to heart from this one book. And it's always played out. Another blessing. I'll take it. Struggling today. I need the blessing. What's up, Steve? You, Urban? Dude, they're all moving. Look. I mean, I thought we were going into a recession. No one laughed at my joke yesterday when I said, people asked me if I get sick of winning, and I say no. No one laughed yesterday. I think people thought I was serious. This is the one that we've been in. Some of the guys have been playing this one. I don't know. I mean, maybe the kids are all back at the malls. I don't know what's going on. But all I keep hearing about is this recession, right? That's all I keep hearing about. Recessions. It's coming. Okay. Is it? I don't know, man. I don't know how you can look at that and not want to be a party to it. The thing about that is now you have this wonky doji sitting up there, right? Like, you have the volume that you want, right, John? But now you have this doji. You really want to play that doji? Maybe you let it make a decision, see if you can like build up that part where you've had the rejection and then play it. Crazy, man. Easiest way to look at this stuff is this. I don't know if need's still around. Is need still around? Want divided by need. It's absolutely crazy. I want to see something with that doji. I like the volume a lot. I'll take it. I'll take all the blessings I can get. Mitch, you need to be all over. What's up, Shane? I will rock with Elliott Management anytime they're involved. Anytime I'll give it a shot. What I need to do is figure out where their average cost is, and then I try to get as close to their average cost as possible. And I just sit. We did this with pins, and we did exceptionally well. I'm still in the pins trade. So are some people in the room. We've been in it so long at this point, we took it out, Shane. We actually took it out of the newsletter. We've been in since like 18, 19 bucks. When Elliott Management invests in something, you pay attention. They did it in PayPal, and they bailed on PayPal. We didn't do the trade because it didn't trigger like properly. We tried to do it, just didn't really trigger. And when they bailed on PayPal, I wouldn't go near PayPal now. Like, that would bother me. That would scare me. And I think PayPal's got a real nice market, but I don't understand why they bailed on it. Maybe they couldn't get done what they wanted to get done. You know, maybe they had a different agenda than PayPal had as an agenda. But when they bailed on that, that was concerning to me. I don't know what's going on with these businesses that they would bail on them. You look at like Square from November; it's just been a monster, right? So I don't know why they bailed on that one. There might be some reasons there. PayPal seems to be crushing it as far as business wise, but they did this with pins. This is their wheelhouse. They will figure it out with Match. They'll figure it out, and it'll be very profitable. It'll take time, but it'll work. ARM, I have a long position in. I'm looking long term on that. I'm not doing the darn thing with it. All I'm doing is buying it when it dips. I didn't add yesterday though. There's nothing to do there, Mary. What's up, TD? What's up, John? What's up, Ian? Yeah, we're being lied to, dude. We're completely being lied to about how bad things are over there. I'm just telling you, we are. We're completely like when I saw a chart out of Goldman where they were looking at the Red Sea deliveries on oil. Dude, we're so being lied to about how bad it is over there. It's really bad. JP Morgan looks great. The problem is you have earnings on Friday, and I'm long, but I have a decision to make. Am I going to hold something that I'm not up in a lot? I don't even think I'm up in it anymore right now. I think if I gaps here, I'm down. Am I going to hold this into Friday, into earnings? Not up at least, $5, $10. Probably not, man. That's kind of like one of my rules. Like, I just won't do that. If I'm not up in something drastically, I very rarely will hold it into earnings. I want the cushion. What's up, Truck? Yep, please hit the like button. It helps greatly with the algorithm. We will be on time tomorrow. We will be on time tomorrow, by the way, for CPI. AEHR. People are delaying. I don't know why they're delaying, but they're delaying their testing equipment. And I'm not sure why, but they are. They're delaying their testing equipment. It's not a good thing when it's not one customer that's doing it, it's customers. Now they specialize in automotive. So is automotive having a problem? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Juniper, I tried yesterday. I lost money. I just bailed. Yeah, look, if it breaks above there, it looks like it's going to go again and you want to play with it, give it a try. For me, I don't know. I've got some huge positions right now in some of these spec M&A deals, and maybe this gets bought, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Right now, it's just kind of bonking around a little bit. It's not the worst day to buy it, right? If you can get back to like break even, right? Because if you buy it today at like 36.80, if you're lucky enough, you just use the low of the day as your stop now, right? And then you just get out of the way. Something like that can happen. You could do something like that. Yeah, winter is supposed to be way worse. I don't know where that's coming from. Coal stock, same thing. Europe's supposed to be much colder. That's why you're seeing like METC, HCC. That's why the coal names are moving. Oil. Europe's supposed to be much, much colder. This thing's like the greatest trading vehicle of all time. If you catch it, you just have to get out the next day. Like, you can't hold it overnight. It's crazy. They gap it down, then it goes back to flat. You just have to catch it right, and you have to get out of the way when you're wrong. But what a great vehicle. NBO, I avoid. I think they're going to wind up. I would just avoid. I think they're going to buy somebody. I don't think they're going to have a choice. I think I made it at 35. What's up, Exton? What's going on, buddy? Yeah, they missed earnings. I'm not going to play this. There's too many names out there that are crushing it. You're going to want to hold your winners and keep moving your stops up on trades. TGTX looks great. No, it hasn't. The vine's getting bigger. It's a big trade. It's a really big trade. It's kind of funny. It's a really big trade. And a lot of people don't understand that trade. And that's why they think, it's what's so crazy about it, where he's right. It's why people think that regionals are in trouble, because they're borrowing. But, pardon me, how much money would you borrow if you knew that you could sell it cheaper or sell it for more money. Like, it's crazy. Like, how much money would you borrow? You'd borrow as much as you could. Despite like someone like Dave Ramsey, who'll say, "Oh, if you gave me $1 billion at zero interest, I would take it." I mean, that's just a moron statement. You know, it just is. I have a lot of NVIDIA. You know, I mean, I've really done. I've had positions I'm doing nothing with for some time. We have a swing trade on. We made 12 points yesterday. If they wanted it, if they didn't want it, leave it on. I don't know why you would bet against NVIDIA here breaking out of a 7-month base. I mean, it's literally like the easiest trade in the world when you look at it. Like, okay, where's your stop? We'll just, if it breaks this low, just get out of the way and just reset. Like, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, who cares? So it didn't work. So what? Like, just wait for it to set up again. Try again. I would not be betting against this company. I don't think it's the winner of the year, because usually whatever the big winner of 23 was is not 24's winner. But I think you're crazy if you're betting against that company. Let me just see here. I'm going to have to go through these super fast because I'm super late. Cam mic is on instead of regular mic is making an echo. Am I on the wrong mic? Hold on. Oh, it is. Man, what is going on today? Is that better? Let me know if that's better. That might be better. Thanks for saying something. Most cars sold. Yeah, they are. Thanks, John. I'll take it. I like SMCI. I like it a lot. I think you're going to hit all-time highs. I'm going to have to jump here in a minute, guys. I don't give advice. I'm not a financial advisor. All my licenses are gone. I don't give financial advice. You need a financial advisor, dude. All I do is information education. That's it. I mean, what do you want me to say? They lost a door, they lost a window, and they've got loose bolts. Like, what's there to say, dude? I mean, what are you waiting for? The next problem? Like, this is exactly why I don't own this stock nor play with it. I just don't play with it. It's, you know, that they have some real issues. Now the CEO is blaming the other CEO. For me, it is. Yeah, but then you have to deal with oil. GT, if you're playing GT, right? You're also playing with oil, right? So there's a whole oil trade there because of 70% of their expenses are oil. ARBE. I don't know what would remotely be interesting about that. Yeah, you're seeing it's heating up. It's heating up in Europe. It's getting colder. You're smarter than me, man. I have no idea what's going to happen. They seem to be killing it with that, and they're trading it in the room. They're doing exceptionally well with it. Looks a little tired here, doesn't it? But you know, see if you can get through that wick. That's what I had. I had that marked off. That's how I had it marked off there. That was my level for them, where I'd be looking at. People are traveling. They're traveling all over. In your room, you keep an ad. Yeah. Yes. Not of all Mayan, of the ones that we talk about in the room. Yes. Of all Mayan, God, no. I think you got to see what happens here, Charlie. You know, tomorrow's going to be better. Now it's worse. Now it's worse. It's always like that. Dude, this mic's like $400. What is going on with this mic? It's really that bad, the mic? Test, test, test. Hold on one second here. Stay with me, guys. Why is this so low? Oh, there's a little button here. I wonder if that button does something. Hold on one second. Stay with me, guys. Hold on. Tell me if this changes. Just volume down. Can you hear me now? Is it getting any better or worse? Is it changing at all when I'm doing this? Oh, there's a gain. Is that what I'm playing with now? Sounds fine right now. Oh, there's a little button. Okay. I think there's a little button. I got to figure that out. All right. I'll play around with it. All right, guys. I got to go. Trade to win today.